Hey, this has been something on my heart that I wanted to share with you because I'll bet I'm not the only person that's felt this way. I've been struggling some with having gastric reflux, and I went to the gastroenterologist yesterday, and I was mentioning to the receptionist, and she's been working there many years, and I said, I'm coughing, but it's not COVID, it's from this reflux. And she said, oh, I know, I have that too. And I said, but you work here. And she said, yeah, but I have, breakthrough reflux from time to time, and I struggle with it as well. Do you know what? Just hearing that, particularly from somebody who, is working among all these doctors and nurses and everything that specialize in dealing with that problem, to hear that it's possible to have that problem and, it could be an ongoing thing or, comes and goes kinds of thing. Well, it made me feel reassured because I guess I felt like, I don't know. Well, I said to her, it helps me to hear you say that because I felt like, what's happening to me? And she said, I know that feeling, and to realize that sometimes when we're sick or struggling with something, having a problem in our lives, we can feel like the odd one out. We can feel like, what's wrong with me? And kind of feel like nobody else has this problem. Everybody else is fine. And look at me. Oh, but, it helps sometimes to share and talk with somebody. I mean, I don't even know this lady's name who was the receptionist. All I know is that by being able to relate to my situation as someone who was like a sister in a similar struggle, it just helped me so much. And it gave me the strength to be able to say, okay, I felt like if there was a line, before she shared with me, I was down here. And after she shared with me, I was able to be up here. I was able to have some kind of fight and some just oomph in dealing with that problem and not feel like, oh, my life is falling apart. I mean, we can become so dramatic and we can get very centered on ourselves, especially when we're not feeling up to par. When we're feeling ill, when we have pain, when we're uncomfortable, whether it's physical or, psychological discomfort. Golly, I have a friend who she's dealt with a lot of medical stuff, a lot of physical illness in her life. And she just does so well through it all. She keeps such a good attitude. And when I was going through what eventually led up to a divorce with an abusive situation, she said to me, I don't know how you can do it. How you can keep putting one foot in front of the other. I could never deal with that. Isn't it funny, I have trouble dealing with things when I get physically sick. She has trouble when she has, emotional or psychological challenges, but when she's sick, she's able to deal with it in a much better way than I am. But the whole point is here, it's good to get help. Now, I'll go on to share that I need to have some tests at the gastroenterologist. And I've had some of these tests like years and years ago, and they were not pleasant. And oh my gosh, I really, did not want to have them, but what can you do? It's the best thing, it's the wise decision. Well, then I found out that they, totally changed the way they do these things, and it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. Oh, and I felt like such a weight was lifted from me. If you need some sort of care, whether it be for medical problems or, emotional problems, relationship problems even, go and see somebody who is well versed in that, who's an expert, and talk to them. Don't go on the internet. I'll tell you why. You will find from the ridiculous to the sublime on there. Oh my goodness. And you'll find all kinds of kooks on there that have posted things on websites that may look very professional, and they may come across as very authoritative. But you need to go to your doctor, or your counselor, or your minister, or, whatever it is. Somebody who's going to relate personally with you and your issues. And at least look into what's involved with the best care for your situation. I just can't encourage you enough to do that. Don't sit at home in fear thinking, sometimes like we avoid medical tests because we don't want bad news, just in case there might be bad news. But I know how that feels. I do. But golly, what's worse? To have the test or to go on living in fear about what the result might be, when the result might be perfectly fine, right? So, it really is better to live in reality than in some dream fairyland. So I'm just encouraging you. I understand there are a lot of people who go through, I think we all go through the same kinds of things. It's just some people sort of hide their struggles better than others. And then there are some people who are not very nice, and they make another person feel like they're different because they're going through some kind of struggle. Like I've had people say to me, you're a health coach. Why do you have reflux? As if, it's my fault. Sometimes when you have things going on with you, it's not your fault. Well, or maybe it is. I'm not perfect, okay? But the point is, nobody should be saying that to me. Maybe they could say, gee, you're a health coach. I'm surprised that you're having that trouble. And then we can discuss about it. But to say, to almost be accusatory, that doesn't help at all. So we need to be strong and not let ourselves get upset over other people looking down on us because of the struggles or challenges that we have in our lives. And what we need to do is work on ourselves wherever we can, take every opportunity for improvement. Saw this little inspirational message the other day. It said, improvement starts with I.